Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the series on the 1982 Orient Red 300 SD. I've got a list of items I want to knock out in this video. Today we want to do the transmission cooler lines, the shifter bushings, the sway bar end links, the cruise control module, and I want to install a new set of tires. Now that sounds like a lot, but I think I can squeeze it all into one video. Let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and get it up on the lift. All right guys, first thing I'm going to do is just take off all the wheels and I'm going to run them up to the tire shop and get some new tires. And then we're going to dive into the transmission cooler lines. Okay, I just ran over to the warehouse, picked up some Limforder sway bar end links. That's the OEM manufacturer. And some Rhine transmission cooler hoses. So let's go ahead and install these first. All right guys, so the reason I like to replace these, see there's a transmission cooler line here and over there, is because the original lines didn't have the coil, the braided coil around them. And this is more like an upgraded line, and that coil will protect them from anything that comes up off the road or hits them. It'll protect them from breaking. Or even though this car has brand new belts, down the road, if you break a belt and it slaps into the hose, it won't break the hose in half. So also this is the original one, and it just needs to be changed. And the way you do this, pretty straightforward. You get a 19 millimeter, you get a 17 millimeter and you hold your hard line still, and then a 19 millimeter, and you just crack it loose. And you're gonna lose a little bit of transmission fluid, but it's really not even enough to matter. So then we're gonna go up here onto where it connects into the radiator. We'll crack that one loose. There we go. And you just screw it off here. And we're just gonna make a quick swap. All right, we'll screw this one off. There we go. Screw this one on. And we'll screw this one off up here. And we'll just screw this one on. That's how easy it is, guys. It'll take, takes you what, 2 minutes? All right, we'll go ahead and tighten that down, and then I'll knock out the other side. Now, when you tighten it down, again, you want to hold your hard line with a 17 millimeter. And we're just going to tighten it up there. And that's it. You don't need to crank it down crazy tight. And you just snug it up there. And that's it, guys. That's done. Let me knock out the other side. I'll show you when I'm done. And see how little fluid is lost? That's not even enough fluid to have to be replaced. It's completely insignificant. See, there's my foot. It's like half a shot glass or so. Okay, here's the one on the passenger side and the driver's side. And you may ask, why are these flexible up here like this? Because this is the chassis of the car, and the radiator is fixed mounted to the chassis, and the engine will vibrate back here. So you want these to be able to vibrate with the engine and be able to flex with the engine. That's why they're designed like that. All right, let's go ahead and move to the back of the car and change our old sway bar end links. And I'll show you why we're doing this. If we look back here, see the boot has deteriorated on the sway bar end link. We can see there's a lot of dirt up in there, and this will eventually break. So these are pretty easy to take off. 17 millimeter nut right there. And then we come around to the other side, and we can see, I'm just gonna go sideways with the camera. On the back of the hub, there's also a 17 millimeter back here. So let's go ahead and take that off of there. All right, you guys can barely see the sway bar end link up there. But if we put our 17 millimeter up here, we can put it on that nut and crack it loose. And that will release. Here we go, we got the nut there. And there's a little washer behind it. There we go. And you can see we've now released that sway bar end link from the actual sway bar. Now let's go around to the other side. All right, I'm on the other side, and you can see right here, you get a 17 millimeter wrench. We have to just undo. It's screwed into the hub right there. So we just got to take our time and undo this. and eventually it will come out and we can install our new one. Okay, here on the bench you can see how the ball joint is exposed and there's dirt down in there. There's no boot. These will eventually, they either snap in the middle or break up there at the ball joint. And you can see our new one has a nice boot on there and it's got a bunch of fresh grease down in there. So let's go ahead and get the new one installed. All right, mission accomplished. We have our brand new sway bar end link installed over here on the passenger side, and I just installed the one over here on the driver's side. Okay, next we want to tackle the cruise control module, and let me show you where that is. They tend to go bad with age because they have capacitors and resistors in there, and those just drift out of value. I'll show you what one looks like. If we actually go over here to my shelf, I have a bunch of old modules. Here they are. This is just, it goes up under the dash and your cruise control plugs into it. And we have these rebuilt by Programma down in Florida. They replace the electrolytics inside of there, and then they're good to go for the next 20 years or whatever. So let's lower the car down and remove this old original module. Now to do that, there's a couple of screws here. We're going to undo those screws and pull this panel down, and then we can get access to it. So I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, I've got the floor mat out and we've removed the under dash panel. And if we go underneath here, we can see right here, that's our cruise control module. And holding it in is a 10 millimeter nut right up there at the top, or 10 millimeter bolt. So I need to screw that out, move that out of the way, screw that out, and then I can pull that module out of there. Okay, after crawling down here in the floorboard and cussing and contorting, you can see I have a little socket up in there. It goes back up there behind the brake line, and there's the actual end of the 10 millimeter bolt that runs through there. And I have removed the cruise control module, and all we need to do is remove it from the mounting bracket with 2 Phillips screws and unplug it right there, and we can remove our module and install a refreshed, rebuilt one. Now, before you remove it, it's important you note how it's mounted to the bracket, because when it goes back up in the car, you flip it around like this and it installs back up in there, and that bolt goes through that mounting hole right there. So when you pull it down and you flip the bracket around, that's how it's mounted. You can see the part number right there is upside down written on the module. So we install the part number upside down when you put it back on there. All right, I've unplugged our module, and I want to plug in some test equipment to confirm that the rest of the cruise control system works before we install our new module. So the other component in the cruise control module is the actual actuator right here. So when you give it throttle, it pulls your throttle linkage. Well, the cruise control actuator, if you see right here, it's connected to the throttle. See, if I pull here, so that actuator is what holds your throttle in position. Say if you're going 70 miles an hour and your throttle's right there, this actuator is right here is what holds the throttle in that position. Now, I have seen these fail. It's a little bit more rare for these to fail. It's just an electric motor inside there, and it comes down and plugs in right here, and then that wiring goes back into the car under the dash and is controlled by our cruise control module. So we want to go ahead and test this to make sure it's working correctly. Now, in order to test, I have some original Mercedes test equipment. You guys have probably seen this in the videos. Sorry, I don't have the part number. It's worn off there. But this is a cruise control tester, and it allows us to test the stalk, which is right here. And it allows us to test the motor under the hood, which is M. So we're going to go ahead, give the car accessory power, wait till that buzzer goes out. All right, so first I want to test the stalk to make sure we're reading our signals good. So I'm going to press up. All right, good. Down. Cancel. Resume. Good. That's all working correctly. Next thing we want to do is go look at that motor under the hood. All right, when I press our motor button, it should actuate our cruise control actuator here. So pressing. Perfect. Pulls it and releases. Pulls it and releases. All right, so that's working fantastic. All right, you notice I read the part number off the cruise control module because there's like 2 or 3 different part numbers from 81 up through 85, and you have to make sure you get the correct part number. So I'm going to go ahead, order that, and it'll probably come in tomorrow, and we'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, we have our rebuilt cruise control module. See, there's the remanufactured sticker, and I'll need to send the other one back as a core return. Let's go ahead and get this one opened up, and we'll get this installed in the car. And as you can see, it's an original Mercedes part. There's the Mercedes emblem. There's the part number. Exact same unit. This has just been disassembled, and all the electrolytic components have been replaced. So this will be good for many years. All right, let's go ahead and get this back in the car. Okay, guys, to remove the old modules, I always use an electric screwdriver because the screws on here are extremely, they're in there extremely tight, but these just pop them right out. There we go. All right. Okay, there's the one we're sending back as the core, and now this one can go back up in the car, and I probably won't be able to record this. This is kind of tricky to get it back up in here, but I'll come back once it's reinstalled. All right, there we go. We have our rebuilt cruise control module reinstalled and fitted back onto the bracket. All right, let me go ahead and button up all the under dash panels here, and we'll be done with this job. All right, I realize the wood trim and gauge cluster aren't in, but I have buttoned up back underneath, gotten all the carpet and everything reinstalled. Anyway, that's all buttoned up. And of course, this is all going to get professionally detailed when I get it up to Scott's. But cruise control job is now done. All right, the next thing we want to do is change our shifter bushings. We have one up here on the front of the transmission right there. There's a little bushing, I'm touching it. And then the other one is on the back of the shift rod back here. And I'll go ahead and show you these. These are just little bushings that they rot over time, and it's good to change them, or else you'll get your shifter inside the car will rattle. So let me go ahead and get the parts out of the car, and I'll bring them over here to the bench. Okay guys, it's easier to install this way. You can see here's our shifter, like that's the rod that goes into the transmission. To shift it forward, it turns forward and backward depending on what gear you put the shifter in inside the car. And I went ahead and just removed it. It's held in there with a 10 millimeter. And here's our shift rod. And it actually goes in the car like that. That one back there connects to the bottom of your shifter that comes through the transmission tunnel. Now the old shifter bushing, like I said, it was still hanging in there, but these inevitably rot and come out. So there we go. I just pushed that old bushing out there. And we have a tool that Mercedes source sells. And this great little tool, you put your bushing right on the end there, and then you can squeeze it in. Let me go ahead and demonstrate. And then we'll put it on our tool, and we want to put it in here. And you have to squeeze pretty dang hard, guys, to get this to go in there. So let me go ahead and do that. So you just squeeze it, and it's going to pop in there. Okay, now sometimes it'll actually help to heat up the bushing to get it in there, but then you can see our new fresh bushing is in there, and this just slips over the end of here. Make sure it goes in there okay. There we go. There you go. When you shift, it works like that. And that's what your shifter bushing is. All right, now to get the one on the back, I got to go under the car and come up from underneath and put it in. All right, guys, there you go. We have that's on our shifter handle there. You can see I sprayed some lubricant up in here to make it slip in easier. And now we just need to put this rod back up into there. Okay, after a lot of cussing, I got our clip back on the end there, and we have our new shifter bushing. Okay, please keep in mind to have all the wood removed from the vehicle because I sent that out to be refinished. But I wanted to show you now our shifter while we do this. Now, notice how tight it is and how it clicks in between all the gears and it doesn't wobble around. And it's very firm. See, if I pull it over here, that's why you want to change your shifter bushings. All right, we are done with that job. All right, I just picked up all the wheels with the new tires. And let's go ahead and get these mounted. This is just a little stud I have here that is good for installing wheels. And guys, I've started using Toyo tires. I used to use the Uniroyal Tiger Paw, but we noticed a manufacturing defect in those recently where it would cause the cars to like drift to the right. So we have stopped using them. We're now using the Toyo Extensa, and these are excellent. We have not had one single problem with these, and they ride great. Also, check that out, guys. That's the original unpainted, or it hasn't been refinished. That's the original bunt wheel from the factory in 1982. That looks absolutely beautiful. All right, let me get the rest of these wheels and tires installed, and that'll be it for this video. And guys, like it showed earlier in videos, I refinished the lug bolts. That's as good as it gets for an original bunt wheel that has not been refinished. Absolutely beautiful condition. All right, got the rears on. Those look absolutely beautiful. Let's go check the other side. There we go. Original bunts. Awesome condition. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I'm going to get this back down on the ground, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something in this video. We'll see you next time. Take care.